Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't.
What up? Episode 44. Multiplex loves movies. Maggie's plugging back in the Switch. Animal Crossing is done for the evening, but you know what's not done? Captain America: The Winter Soldier, because we gotta watch it still. We're starting off small tonight. Maggie's over in the corner, doesn't want to be in the frame, I guess. But the four of us are here. Two more people will show up late. They had to do things, but they will be here. Cody and Mr. Boatman will be joining us a little late. But we're starting off with the four of us. Kaleb Koho, how are you? Do you like this film?
I'm doing all right. It's been a good weekend, and I love this film. It went a lot higher on my ranking on this last rewatch. I don't know why it was lower. Maybe just hadn't seen it in so long. But when I did my big MCU binge earlier this year, it went much higher. This movie's excellent. I'm excited to watch it.
Fair enough. Nicholas Twohig, you love Captain America. You're even wearing the shirt. Your thoughts on this film?
This is a good film, first and foremost. Kaleb, the weekend ended almost 2 days ago now. So I don't know if you need to check the clock, but just looking out for you, bud. I love this movie.
Time's weird.
I watched Captain America: The First Avenger earlier in the day to prepare. The three Captain Americas and the most recent two Avengers are all comprise my top 5 of the MCU. This one sits at 3 or 4. Yeah, big fan.
Nice. Maggie, care to come into the frame and share your thoughts on the film? Really?
I don't have any thoughts.
What do you mean you don't have any thoughts?
It's a good movie. Fun fact, it's the first MCU movie I saw in theaters. I watched it because I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they did the whole teaser thing at the end of one of the episodes and they were like, everything will change. And so I had to go see the movie.
That's true. They did do that. I remember that as well. I love this movie. I like the movie more now, but at the time that it came out, I wasn't the biggest First Avenger fan. And so I wasn't really looking forward to this one. And then when this one came out, I did like when they used to do like double features and stuff, when the new ones would come out, they did a like triple feature of the First Avenger, the First Avengers, and then this movie. And I went and did that triple feature in 3D on like the big screen at the theater. I was the big ultra screen they had, and it was epic. And I immediately fell in love with this movie. I think this movie is dope. It is in my top 5 as well. I've seen it many, many times. So yeah, we'll get thoughts from Cody and Boatman when they get here. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. I think we can start this thing. So are we all queued up at 0?
Wait, I have to pull the movie up, you mean? I was doing
Whoa. Yes. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, play. You're gonna make popcorn? Okay.
Would you eat some?
I'll eat some, yeah. No, this movie slaps though. I remember too when they did when Thor: The Dark World came out, they did like a preview of this movie before the movie, and it was the elevator scene.
Oh.
And I remember being in the theater, seeing the elevator scene, and just like losing my mind. I was so pumped.
This is my favorite opening scene, I think, in the entire MCU, if I'm being honest.
Oh wow, that's. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's up there.
It's very high up there. I did a whole like ranking for everything when I did my rewatch, and I can't remember where I placed this, but it was close to the top.
I mean,
it's really good. I would still take like the opening scene of Infinity War like over this and stuff like that. But this is definitely
good.
Definitely, it gets better each time once you like know the characters and like once you know Sam really well and everything.
The opening of Iron Man's probably up there.
I like the opening of. Oh, actually, no. The opening of Guardians is the hospital. I'm thinking of the Morag scene. I really like.
I really like the opening of Black Panther. Also, like when they explain the history of Wakanda through that really cool animation.
That is a really cool scene.
Also, the opening of Age of Ultron and the opening of Homecoming are both really good.
Maggie likes the opening of Guardians 2 because she likes Kurt Russell and his young face going like this in the car to Brandy.
Very fair.
I just love how much the Russos love Captain America. It just warms my soul.
Same. This was their first one, and everyone was like, this is dumb. And then it happened. Everyone was like, oh.
Well, because I think they announced that the Russos were going to be doing Infinity War before Civil War even came out. Because they did the whole Phase 3 announcement, and they announced that Joss Whedon wasn't coming back.
Right.
Post Ultron, and that the Russos were going to be doing it, and we were all like, well, I mean, Winter Soldier was good, but come on. And then Civil War came out, and we were all like,
I also have to give a huge shout out to Marcus and McFeely, the people who write all of these Captain America movies. They are really good at writing the exchanges between Sam and Steve. Like it's your bed, right? It's too soft. That scene is so good. That line is so good.
I love this. Either of you know where the Smithsonian is? I'm here to pick up a fossil.
Hilarious.
Did Marcus and McFeely, didn't they do another one did they do Thor the Dark World?
They were brought on to do rewrites on Thor the Dark World. So they did work on Thor the Dark World, and they worked on the 2 Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah. Well, I knew they did this, Civil War, and then Avengers, but I was like, I feel like they did another one, and you're right, they totally did. Frank Grillo is so underrated, too. He's so good in this movie.
The first time I saw Civil War, I was kind of bummed that he died right away.
Yeah.
I love that he comes back in the way he does in Endgame, though. Like, that little bit is really good. Henry Jackman also doesn't get enough credit for the scores for Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Well, I think I like Silvestri's for the first Avenger better.
I definitely agree, but there's like Jackman's theme for Cap is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Silvestri's theme better, but Jackman does have a good one.
He doesn't get enough credit for his scores in general, but I think both of them are really good for Winter Soldier and Civil War 2.
Just like right away from this scene, you just get an idea of what this movie is going to be like right off the bat. Like any punches right away. Yeah, Garth is right. I thought the same thing when I saw Batman v Superman. The one dude that's like, did he wear a parachute or whatever?
All right, hang on, I know.
PBS.
Callum Turner.
Oh. Are you trying to name the actor?
Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah.
No idea.
Callan Mulvey.
Dang it! Who's Callum Turner? I also love this because this was at the time when everyone was arguing about like how DC heroes like shouldn't kill people. How it's like they think that Superman never kills anyone and Batman never kills anyone.
Yeah.
That comes in pretty much.
You're not in the frame at all.
Does that bother you?
It was just like, you're not even here.
I'm here. I just want to lean, and I can't lean if I'm sitting in the middle of the crowd.
That's fair. Maggie's right though. Like, I still watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now, but I remember during that first season when it got to this point, and they were like, they put out like a press release that was like, "Yo, if you watch this show, you should probably go see Winter Soldier before you watch next week's episode."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing the movie and being like, "Wait, what?" And then like the next episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. was just like, "Oh yeah, Hydra."
I think I fell off that show at episode like 3.
That's fair.
The first season was fun and like, but like when this movie came out, I was like, so what's the show gonna be? And I tried watching season 2, and I guess I just wasn't for me.
That's fair. It's not for everyone. Like it's definitely a wild show, but
Like I was really into the idea of like seeing the MCU from the ground level of the people who are working behind the scenes of it, and like it wasn't as interesting as I thought they could have done it in the first season. I was never really fully on board. I get why people really like it. I just didn't gravitate to it that way. And then when the Winter Soldier twist came, I was like, I'm interested to see where this goes. And the first season kind of ends the way it does, and I'm like, okay.
yeah. No, it definitely doesn't start to get like real good till like season, like halfway through season 2, I would say. But like season 3 and 4 are like dope as hell.
Fair.
Like I know Maggie's not a big fan, but like their version of Ghost Rider they had on the show,
I liked Ghost Rider.
friggin' loved. It was so
He was
cool.
great.
Isn't this technically like, I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that is not canon anymore?
No, I think it still is.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I don't think any of the Netflix ones, I think all the Netflix ones aren't canon anymore.
Right.
I don't know.
I think that's true.
And I don't think the Inhumans is canon anymore.
Might be thinking of that time where Joss Whedon decided he was pissed at everyone and was just like, "Oh, I'm sure what anyone says, Coulson's dead."
Maybe.
I mean,
they reference like they've never like the first season is the only season that outwardly connected to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a Thor: The Dark World tie-in episode, and
I
then
watched
obviously there was the Winter Soldier episodes.
Jamie Alexander was in one, right?
Yeah,
But,
she
like,
was safe.
even when the snap happened, they didn't like acknowledge it really.
Like they did, like they said like that something happened, but they weren't like this is the snap. So like it definitely takes place in the world because they reference stuff, but like it's not so connected that like it could not be. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I just remember there was like a minute, maybe it was around like last year's Comic-Con or something, when they started announcing that they were doing their own TV shows, like that were like directly in the MCU with MCU characters that like I totally made this up. But like any TV show that came before, they weren't going to really count anymore.
I mean, it's hard because like Peggy Carter is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at times, so like
Right.
but I hate her that well.
What
So like,
about her whole show?
and she had a whole show, so it's like it's hard to like
Right.
take away the two. It's a lot easier to say that
Inhumans, which is trash.
Inhumans
That's
was
nothing.
fucking awful. It's a lot easier to say that like the Netflix shows don't connect more than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Because like the Netflix shows have never like the only thing referenced in the Netflix shows from the movies is like they reference the Battle of New York a lot in those first couple seasons, but like as the shows go on, they stopped. God, he's such a badass.
On va voir.
I fucking love him as Captain. Is he ever gonna play Captain America again?
Honestly, I hope not.
What? Not even if it's in like 20 years and we have like kids, and then they all of a sudden he shows up all grizzled and he's like,
As much fun
No.
as much fun as I think it would be for us to have like a moment where like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, Old Man Steve shows up for a quick cameo, or in like 40 movies from now, he comes back without old age makeup and it's just old age Steve Rogers, would be fun. But at the same time, I don't think it'll ever happen, and I don't really want it.
Would you rather see RDJ be back in some form, or would you rather see him back?
I think there's a lot more room for an RDJ as an AI to come back, and I would be more accepting of it than.
RDJ is going to be in Black Widow.
I think we're the both of them, and it was so perfect that
I agree
to do anything else.
I agree. I don't want them to continue as major characters, but if like Phase 4 comes around and there's more Spider-Man stuff, and like they find a way to make him the AI in Peter's suit, I wouldn't be mad.
Go ahead, Tim.
The thing that I want to know more is like, where is Ruffalo in all of this?
Me too.
Because Thor's off world, RDJ and Evans are gone. Hawkeye's supposedly getting a show. We'll see if that still happens. Black Widow's dead. So, like, where is Ruffalo in all of it, you know?
What do you mean?
Doing nothing. Living as Professor Hulk.
Well, that's what I don't need him to have his own movie or anything, but I would love it if he would just, like, I think he was so perfect in Ragnarok. He could be, like, a side character in somebody else's movie again.
I want a movie where, like, so he's gained control of his, like, ability to be the Hulk. I want a movie where he loses it and we get World War Hulk for, like, the first half, and then he, like, redeems himself and dies by the end of whatever movie that is, whether it's an Avengers movie or whatever.
I still would love to see a World War Hulk movie, especially now with, like, most of the Marvel rights back at Marvel. Like, the only major player in that story that can't be used is Reed Richards, which is like, well, no, they actually have him now. Never mind, they could literally do everything. There's literally not a single character they can't use to make that story work. I would love to see it.
Will he show up in She-Hulk?
I hope so.
As far as goes, the only thing else I want to see is like a funeral, like they did with Peggy, where he died of old age.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, perfect.
He could show up in Spider-Man 3. That's plausible.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're both in New York, hypothetically.
Well, Doctor Strange.
Or he could show up in Doctor Strange. That's actually more plausible than Spider-Man. You're right. I love this whole little scene here with them in the elevator and his story about his grandpa.
This story that he tells is so good.
Show.
And he's out in space doing who the fuck knows what. Where are his shoes, Koho? Who's got him?
He left them with Talos on Earth. He's wearing. He's got the same shoes as. Obviously,
Well,
walking around with his fucking toes out on that spaceship.
sorry. Can I get both, please?
That's a whole nother thing too. Like, will Talos be in Captain Marvel 2, or is he going to be in Spider-Man 3, or what the fuck's going on?
Well, remember when they like set up Secret Wars, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to make another Spider-Man movie."
Yeah, but they are now.
But now they are, so that's good.
It could happen. We don't know what's up Kevin Feige's sleeves.
I'm low key a little worried about like integrating it with streaming shows.
I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens.
I never had to watch Shield, and I never had to watch the Netflix shows to like know what was going on in the movies. And like,
well, hypothetically though, Kevin Feige had nothing to do with those shows.
right?
So hypothetically, him being in charge of these shows and having a big say in what happens in them, I think will help.
Totally. And I'm gonna watch them.
Outside of WandaVision, the way I think I see it going is that these are like the ancillary issues of a comic book where you go to read, like, these are the backups.
Yeah.
Where at the end of a comic, there's like a short story about another character within that comic that you're interested in seeing. I feel like that's what Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be. It's like a mini series of just those two that you don't necessarily need, but if you want to know what those characters are doing, it's recommended. Whereas like WandaVision, I think is the only one that's going to be like necessary.
I would have said that about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but now Falcon is Captain fucking America.
Right.
So it's like
That is true.
It's a little different now.
Because I'm selfish and I prefer movies, but like I'd rather a Captain America 4 where Sam Wilson's the lead.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure we'll get that.
I don't think
Like,
so.
I don't think any of these shows are going to be multi-season things unless they lend themselves to be. Like, WandaVision is not going to be more than one season. I think the only one that probably would lend itself to being multiple seasons would honestly be Hawkeye.
I was thinking Loki.
Loki.
Oh, and Loki, yeah. I forgot about Loki. But, I mean, I could definitely see, like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier setting up, like, a Captain America movie. But I do get Kevin Feige where he's like, I have a story to tell with Captain America, the new Captain America, and Bucky, and I don't want to do it in 2 hours. I want to do it in 8 hours. Like, I get that. We'll have to wait and see. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. I don't know. At the end of the
I'm
day,
extremely excited about it, though.
At the end of the day, I'm just very happy that we have from Iron Man to Endgame, even though Spider-Man 2 already happened, which I love, but just that like chunk of film is great.
The other thing too is if they were doing all these TV shows and only doing like 2 movies, then I'd be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still getting like 6 movies as well.
Right.
So we're still getting like Black Widow, Eternals, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, 4-4, Guardian
3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2.
We're still getting all that stuff, which is cool. You look very sad, Nick.
Oh.
At this conversation.
No. I'm okay with it. What was I just gonna say? You named all the movies. Oh, they can't feasibly like have a Captain America movie and a Scarlet Witch movie and try to introduce all these new characters for a new thing. So I get it. I'd just rather. That's just me.
This scene is heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Also, the other fun thing is they're bringing back characters like to those TV shows that wouldn't normally like get a shot to come back in the movies. Like Daniel Bruhl coming back for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then I think WandaVision, like Kat Dennings and Randall Park are both coming back for that, which is like a super weird group. And like there's someone else too that's coming back for it. That's like, it's why would you like? Okay, sure, like why not?
Casual.
Kat Dennings, Randall Park. Oh yeah, they cast someone as Monica Rambeau for that show.
Yep.
The same person?
Monica's the daughter.
Oh. Mind you.
That makeup was fantastic.
Now picture that old Peggy with like the old cap we see. And it's just the cutest little old couple.
Cutest wrinkly old couple. Is that why you always say Twohig Nicholas J?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Twohig, Nicholas J. That in my middle initial. J. Works on multiple times.
I'm with you, Garth. That scene gets me going.
Yeah.
So sad.
It's been so long.
I think it was on the bonus features for this that Robert Redford was basically just like, wouldn't memorize his lines and would just like say random ass shit while they were filming, and they were just like, all right, we'll go with it, Mr. Redford. Whatever you say.
Cool.
I can just imagine him making these lines up.
He's like, I get the idea of what the scene is about, son. I'll take
Yeah.
it from here.
So the congressman all the way to the left is Lau in the dark.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Yeah, isn't he?
They're all world leaders. It's like a security council.
They're credited as councilmen.
Council.
Yeah.
I also love how, like, in this scene, he, like, watches people and he sees Sam doing this. And then in Endgame, you see him do this as well for a different sort of, like, situation. And it shows this is, like, such good, like, kind of, like, I don't know if it's intentional, but, like, kind of foreshadowing as to why I think Sam's going to be a great Captain America.
Definitely. I just made that connection.
Yeah, I did too. That's a good point, Cole.
The support group in Endgame for this.
Because you know that if Sam had survived, he'd be doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do a really good job of like building up their friendship in a very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, it's like this scene, and then they don't meet up again until they show up at his house, right?
Right.
I really love Anthony Mackie, especially in this movie and like in this role. And like whenever he comes back, I enjoy seeing him. So I'm really glad like he's getting a larger role in the MCU to play, like more to do, because I think he's fantastic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Cut the check. You ever seen that?
What?
There's a bonus feature. You can probably find it on YouTube where it's the Russo brothers, and they're like, yeah, Anthony Mackie, pretty fun guy. Every time that he finishes a scene and feels like he does a really good job, he just yells, cut the check. And then it like cuts to Anthony Mackie, and he's like, here's what happens. You go out, you do a performance, you do a good job, you get paid. Cut the check. And then it just cuts to him in all these scenes going, oh, cut the check. Oh, you see that acting? Cut the check. It's fucking great.
I love it.
I'll show it to you guys after the movie, but it's so fucking good.
For the record, this was the scene they showed after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That is true. It is.
I did see this scene before I saw the movie somehow.
I see all the MCU movies with my dad, and I had seen this like 2 or 3 times before seeing it with him. And I just remember when this scene was happening, he like leaned over to me and goes, this shit is violent. And I was like, yeah, this movie's wild. I think the only MCU movie I didn't see with my dad in the theater was Iron Man 3. Because he didn't like Iron Man 2, and he said he didn't want to go. And I was like, Dad, it's going to be important. And then it wasn't. So, and I vividly remember coming home and him being like, so do I need to see it? And I was like, you can wait for the DVD. Like, is this, I think this is the first just like straight action movie in the MCU. Like the other movies have action, but this is just like a straight action movie.
I think it at least has the best action, in my opinion.
Up to this point,
It is the best action in the MCU, in my opinion, also.
Up to this point.
I would say of all the MCU period.
I would argue that too, because the bridge fight in this movie, like honestly, still is maybe it's top 3.
Like the Lumerian Star Raid alone, I think is one of the best action sequences in the entire MCU, and that's how the movie opens. Everything that comes after it continuously ups it and feels really like I can always tell who's fighting who, and like the action is visually interesting to watch. It's not just like I'm not trying to like roast any of the other MCU movies by saying this. It's just like it can get a little boring to watch the laser do this, the laser do that, pointing your hands around. I'm never personally bored by it, but I'm saying like the action in this is like interesting and unique to watch.
This is better than 2 rubber guys in panther suits falling down a giant shaft.
Agreed.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
No, yeah. I will wholeheartedly concede that the third act fight between Killmonger and Black Panther is not great. I still love that movie. But yeah, no, the action in this is infinitely better than the action in Black Panther. It's infinitely better than the action in most MCU movies.
Any Russo-directed movie has the best action, I would say.
It's up there, yeah. There's like the more that I think about it, like the action in Infinity War and Endgame is a lot bigger because there's a lot more to do and a lot more pawns to play with. So like I think this is the best action they've done because they have like a concise playground to play with. But like the action in like the final, like in the Portals Endgame fight is like ridiculous. The way that like you get back to back of rescuing Tony, shooting lasers, and instant kill and all of like I think they do a good job of directing all of it, but I'd still take this in terms of.
It's because no one in this movie has superpowers.
That's true.
Beyond super strength. So like the action has to be like personal car chases and stuff you're used to in like regular spy movies, and it's so much better than like what that usually is.
That's true.
100%.
You don't have to worry like you don't. It feels grittier and more realistic than when you watch Civil War and you see Giant Man like swinging and Spider-Man swinging off of his arm and all this stuff. Like that action's cool and I freaking love it. But I think this is just a lot more. Like I'd say a lot more thrilling action.
That moment right there is just so badass. Winter Soldier, honestly, like I feel bad because he kind of got left to the wayside in Infinity War and Endgame, but yeah. I friggin' love him in this movie and in Civil War.
Me too.
Like he's such a badass.
He's so good. Because honestly, there's not much Bucky can do in Endgame and Infinity War. He's just a guy with a metal arm and a gun. He doesn't have any superpowers outside the metal arm. He doesn't have a super soldier serum.
Kind of does.
I mean, he's got like Russian like juice.
Bootleg version of it.
Like bootleg of it, but like he doesn't have like he's not a honed super soldier like Cap is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like if he gets like it's not like he's like a Tony Stark suit of armor sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like
we got you.
Yeah, I just don't think he has much place in those fights, which is a bummer. But I love Bucky.
My favorite when this. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say my favorite moment of him in Infinity War is with Rocket when he picks up Rocket.
How much they are? Not for sale.
Space dogs.
My favorite part is immediately after that where he's like, "How much for the arm? Not for sale." And he's like, "Oh, I'll get that arm." It's a great moment. I love that
moment. I remember when this was coming out, and because like people read comics, everyone was like, "Oh, the Winter Soldier is Bucky." That's not a surprise. And someone like asked Kevin Feige, he was like we all know who it is. So, what are you gonna do? And his answer was like, "It's not about tricking you. It's the fact that like Cap is tricked, and like watch what happens when he realizes." And I took that moment and like applied it to Infinity War. Like when everyone dies, it's not what happens to the audience because we know it happened. When you rewatch it, it's what happens to the other characters.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point because like I knew it was Bucky, but like I saw it with a friend from high school who doesn't read comics or didn't know, and when it happened, he was like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Yep."
And then to piggyback off the other conversation, I think Bucky's great in Infinity War and Endgame. I wanted one little scene in Endgame when they all return through the portals. I wanted one scene where like Bucky saves Tony or Tony saves Bucky or something like that, and it would have wrapped up the end of Civil War perfectly. Where like Bucky.
That's a good point.
That would have been good.
Like,
I'm sure. I'll be honest. I'm sure Marcus McFeely had something in there like that, but because they've said multiple times that there's so much that they wrote for that final fight that got cut before they even filmed it.
Oh, that final fight could have been 3 hours long.
Oh, that final fight could have been 3 hours in and of itself. I think they did a great job of like wrapping most of the storylines up. But I agree, that moment was dope. That'd been a good moment.
Just a quick little like Tony's about to die or Bucky's about to die, and Tony, the other person, comes in and kills him, and then they just give a little head nod.
I think they would have done that if they didn't have to do the Spider-Man moment.
Right.
That's fair.
I think for audiences, most audiences, like wrapping up the Mr. Stark I don't feel so good thing was more important
than
the Bucky thing, which I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would have still liked to have seen it, but I think that's what they were going for more than
it was more immediately pressing.
Yeah, especially since Peter's one of the first people to go and see Tony as he's dying. Like,
right. I also think most of the Civil War stuff is really covered within the first like 35 to 45 minutes of the movie.
Almost all of it is.
Yeah.
And it's really great. But yeah, no, there's just that one thing where it's like
I had never even thought of it. It's a good point.
The only reason is because I recently watched Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame as a trilogy. And it's a really good trilogy, but you realize that everything from Civil War gets wrapped up. But the last time Bucky and Tony see each other, like, you couldn't hate another person more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time goes by. Just a little like.
That's
well, I think part of that too is like for Tony, it's been years.
Mm-hmm.
For Bucky, it's been 2
minutes.
Which is still a long time. But I mean, for Bucky, it's been 2 years. For Tony, it's been like almost 7. And I think even the point where like he was so mad at Cap at the beginning of Endgame, but then when they go to see him, when him and Scott and Natasha go to see him, and he literally just like pats him on the back and is like, "You guys are welcome to stay for dinner. I'm honestly happy to see you." Like, I think he probably just in his time, his shit, you know.
It's such a small thing, and it was never about Bucky forgiving Tony. Like, Bucky never had an issue with Tony. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
And so for Bucky to like go through like his rehab essentially, and then get snapped away, and then to come back and just to like see Tony Stark, the man who you know hates your guts, just like give you a nod and be on your way.
Yeah,
would have been good.
But you know,
I'm wondering this: where the hell did Sharon Carter go after Civil War?
She's gonna be in. Isn't she gonna be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yes.
You're right. She is.
She is. She was busy.
With what? With what? Shield's gone.
With it being awkward that she kissed her future uncle or whatever.
Wait.
Yeah, they kissed. She was really happy, and then he was like, "This feels wrong."
Yeah.
Do you think she went? Did she go away in the snap?
Probably.
I think so. I think it is shown in an Endgame when they scroll through the people who got snapped away. I think she's in there.
There's and the Russos published like a confirmed list of like even people that aren't like of. I think she did go away in the snap.
Yeah.
That list was basically, do we want to use them in Endgame? No. Okay, they got snapped away.
Maggie was very happy that Jane was dissolved.
I regret that now.
You regret it now? Why do you regret it?
She's gonna be back and she's gonna be awesome.
You think she's gonna be awesome?
Yes.
Oh, she's gonna be a badass fucking Thor.
I hope. I am not convinced.
I hope so too. I do not like her in those first 2 movies, so I hope
That's fair. I really hope the Jason Aaron's run of the Mighty Thor, where she is Thor, is the best character work they've ever done with the character of Jane Foster. So, like, to apply that into a movie, but add the Taika Waititi twist on it, I think is going to be really cool, and I hope people like it.
Oh, 100%. I think that, like, given the right the way I feel about Natalie Portman is, like, she's a good actress, but if she doesn't have a fantastic director directing her, I think she can be really underwhelming. Like, the proof is, like, she's won an Oscar, but she's terrible in Star Wars, and she's terrible in The Dark World because Alan Taylor's a bad director. And so she's bad in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she's good in the first Thor because Kenneth Branagh's a good director.
Mm-hmm.
Like, It just kind of depends. So I think if there was ever a time for her to be like fantastic in one of these movies, it's with Taika.
That's true.
I hope.
I hope so too.
I too hide important things behind gum in a vending machine at the hospital. Just like I also see the ghost of Dennis Leary everywhere I go.
Like, I got it.
How did he get it in there?
It was open. The guy was.
They were restocking it.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Shit.
Yeah, and he just went up to that guy and he was like, "Can I put it in there?" And the guy was
Killed
like,
him and then did it.
The guy was like, "Yes."
He was sure, Captain America.
Like he's betting on two people not trying gum.
Yeah, he is.
Is full of panels. I just looked that like lift up. Could have just stuck it up in the ceiling. Like Cap's an idiot.
It's fair. It's a fair
He's not
point.
big on technology and stuff.
That's true. He doesn't know.
Listen, Nick, he's only been out of the ice for 2 years.
Food's good. We used to boil everything.
I need to stop watching these movies. Every time I watch one of them, I just want to go on a binge.
You literally told me earlier today.
I know what I said. You can't say anything, though. We can't spoil anything. I literally told Maggie earlier, I said, no matter what happens in the Fandom tournament, I'm not going to rewatch, like, stuff I've watched a bunch, like MCU or stuff like that.
Yeah, you need to watch Fantastic Beasts.
It's true.
Later. There.
Do you think there's ever a scenario where, wow, why can't I think of Redford's name in this movie?
Pierce.
Pierce, thank you. Do you think there's ever a scenario where he outwardly tries to recruit Cap right here for Hydra? Or do you think he just knows that it's not going to happen?
I just think he knows it's not going to happen, but I would love to see, like, a what if. In, like, what if there's a moment where he, like, they have a Palpatine Anakin in the chamber moment.
I'd love to know what, like, the process for recruiting for Hydra looks like.
Slowly drop hints about how you like Nazis, and then
It's like you come into the interview and you're like, okay, go this way if you just want the normal thing at this door.
Yeah.
Here's the red pill,
Yeah,
and
literally.
here's the green pill. You eat the green
Well,
pill. I know how to join Hydra.
you go into an interview and people ask you questions. So it's like, all right, so you have your own transportation. You're able to get here easily. Great. Perfect.
How do you feel about America?
A job like this before? Oh, you have. Great. Do you love Nazis? Oh, okay. That's a no? Ooh, okay.
We
So
have
you're
that to everyone.
Ooh, we're going to have to put you in plumbing instead. He's so menacing.
he is.
He's such a great villain.
Mhm.
I love Robert Redford in this movie.
We were all like, he's retired from acting, and then he showed up in Endgame, and we were like,
To be fair, they filmed his part in Endgame, I think, in 2018, prior to the release of The Old Man and the Gun, which was his last movie. And then when this came out in 2019, it was like 2019's Endgame came out, and it was like, all right, so that's officially by release order, your final film, which I think is a dope final film to go out on.
What were you going to say, Maggie? Were you going to say that's bullshit?
no, I knew that. I was making a joke.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just Roberted myself. I feel bad. I become that which I hate.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, man.
This movie fucking flies too. We're already 45 minutes into this thing.
And we're getting to one of the best fucking parts of this
This
movie.
scene is so good.
Oh, this is great.
Can you imagine being like Jacob Batalon and being like, yo, I was in Infinity War and Endgame, like two of the biggest movies of all time.
Right.
And he shows up for like 2 seconds.
Granted, I'm in one scene, but still.
In one scene of each, but I can say
Oh
that
no.
between those two and the two Spider-Mans.
Good elevator talk.
Low-key, can we talk about how pumped I am for the new Avengers game that's coming out?
I have a hard time looking at those trailers just because it's so jarring to go from like MCU versions of those characters, and even the character models for them are so different from like even comic books for them. So for me, I have to get used to seeing these character models in a totally different way.
I literally just saw the shot of Cap standing there with the shield on his back, and I thought, man, I wish I could be in it. Hi, Boatman. I wish I could be playing a video game where I can play as Captain America. Hello!
Hello, I'm here for Artemis Fowl. Let's go.
Oh, fucking kill me. No, not again.
I'd rather die.
Not again.
Can I get a
There are
time code?
The elevator scene is just starting. We are at 47, about to come up on 48 minutes.
10 seconds to 48.
All right, hold on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 48.
48 minutes.
Cool, I'm here.
I'm not, but okay.
That was quick. I did the work before I came in.
We've been having a lot of really interesting MCU discussions.
Ooh,
Twohig makes me bummed that Endgame doesn't have that one moment now. Like the more I think about it, the more bummed out I am.
Can someone let me know when we're at 49?
All right, yeah, 30 seconds.
Makes you bummed about what?
So
Twohig, tell Cody.
So
Yeah.
I recently, when I flew home recently, I watched Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame as a trilogy. And it made me realize that the one thing that's not an Endgame that I really wish was there is a quick, literally a 3-second scene in the final battle after the portals between Bucky and Tony.
49.
Between Bucky and Tony, where Tony just gives Bucky a little nod and he saves him or something, and then gives him a nod and then flies off. Because the end of Civil War, you realize they leave, and Tony couldn't hate a person more than he hates Bucky, and then they never interact again the entire MCU.
Endgame's a shitty movie now. You're right.
No, it's
going down on my
And
list.
basically, my response was I agree, but I think instead of doing that moment, they gave more they focused more on the Spider-Man Tony thing, because that was what was on people's minds more.
Yeah.
But Twohig's totally right that moment
That needed to happen. That was a miss.
would have been there.
Instead
I
of some
also think what
stupid
you
moments in that battle.
There were a couple
about the Kevin Feige and the Winter Soldier thing. Tell that to Cody.
Remember how we told you when you were watching Infinity War, and you were like, it doesn't matter, I know they all die. And I said, no, you need to look at how it affects the characters, not the audience. The reason I said that is because way back when this movie was coming out, not everyone, but anyone who read comics or did a little bit of research knew that the Winter Soldier was Bucky. So someone asked, the trailers made it seem like it was a secret because they never revealed who the Winter Soldier was. So a reporter asked Kevin Feige and was like, hey, everyone knows it's Bucky, so why should we care? And Kevin Feige's answer is well, this isn't for the audience, it's for Cap. You need to see what Cap's response to finding out that it's Bucky is. So
I fucking love the acting in this movie.
Our Lord and Savior, Mr. Feige. Oh,
Dude, that scene right there doesn't get enough credit in the MCU.
what the
He
little
lands with the fucking shield down. Oh, it's so good. It's so
Oh
good.
no, and just like the throw of the thing to knock out the two, like that's this movie's so good.
So
you
good.
you love
This just
Rob-
moved up 2 spots on my list.
It's my
again.
second favorite MCU.
It's my 3rd favorite now.
I think I have it at 4.
How did it just move up?
I was watching it again. And I went, "Fuck! It should go back up. It should go up higher."
Like just now?
Yeah, like just now I moved it up. I'm like, "Fuck! This has been. I like this more than Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy." So it's up.
Damn.
You're like a 6th grader, like going through like girlfriends in school. Like, oh, well, she was my girlfriend 3 seconds ago, but no, now she is.
No, but the thing is, like, the thing was my
You are
3
literally not even an hour into this, and you're like done. Better than
Well, yeah.
Black Panther.
I had to think about it. Like, honestly, my 3 through 5 were so close that they could be interchanged at any point. So I'm gonna lock it with Civil War as my 3, just because I can't find a singular thing in this movie that I don't like. Whereas I can clearly say the 3rd act fight with T'Challa and Killmonger is not that great, and in Guardians of the Galaxy, my one teeny tiny thing is probably just I'm gonna get fucking creamed. John C. Reilly. I like him, but he doesn't get enough to do.
If it isn't Star Prince.
He doesn't get enough to do. I want more
Oh.
characters.
Oh, the reason why Guardians of the Galaxy goes down the list because John C. Reilly didn't get 3
I have
more
to
lines?
nitpick. I have to
Kill me.
nitpick.
Kill
I had to
me.
nitpick. I had to nitpick. It's still there. I fucking love Guardians. I just put Winter Soldier higher because
Gosh,
there is nothing I can change about Winter Soldier personally to make it better. I think it's
You know
perfect.
what the only thing is wrong with Winter Soldier? And that's the only thing that's ever bothered me about this movie is the first time Winter Soldier attacks Fury and he like opens the car door and Fury's gone. I'm like, that motherfucker cut a giant square in the middle of the fucking ground and jumped into the earth.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's a badass. He's literally Nicholas J. motherfucking Fury. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He used his lightsaber.
The funniest
Exactly.
part is you see him turn it on, and the flame's like this big, and then it cuts through the road.
Well, I have an answer for that. Washington, D.C. has very shitty roads, if we were being 100%.
There.
They put more money in the Congress than they do in the roads.
Pierce doesn't get enough credit for being a really good villain.
Oh, fantastic.
He's great. I love this whole scene too when they go to the store and
He
like
pulls a Superman. It's great. He's wearing glasses, so no one should recognize him.
I just love the guy that tries to help them.
Oh, yeah.
And Natasha's like, "Oh, we're picking out a place for our honeymoon."
Where are you thinking of going? New Jersey. So good.
What doesn't he call Cap a specimen?
Yeah. It's like, whoa, specimen. Fun fact, that guy who helps them in this scene was one of the founders of this YouTube comedy group that Donald Glover also founded. I forget what they're called. Derek Comedy. They did a bunch of sketch comedy videos, and it was that guy, Donald Glover, and one other guy.
There you go. The more you know.
They have a lot of really, really, really funny videos that if you haven't seen, they're like really short, like 3-minute sketch comedy videos. Check those out.
I love how he's like, right, we're getting married.
New Jersey.
They're literally just like plain black, nothing special glasses.
Specimen.
That would be Maggie if she ran into Chris Evans. She'd be like, specimen.
Wheaton, New Jersey.
There's so many good lines, like when they're on the escalator and she's like, "Public displays of affection
Make people.
make people uncomfortable." Yes, they do.
Hey, Caleb, not to
Yeah.
call you out, I'm just curious. You said that Widows was bomb and then gave it 3 stars.
Because when I said it was bomb, I was watching in the first 30 minutes, and I think the first 30 minutes of that movie are bomb, and then it got kind of slow for me, and I started losing interest.
That movie is boring.
I love every scene Daniel Kaluuya is in. He's amazing.
So from the first 30 minutes, did it move up on your list and then have to go back down?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you just stay on Letterboxd with like a slide chart, like up, down?
Well,
That's
no, I said bomb, and then like the rest of the movie happened, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna put in that review, and I'm gonna get roasted.
I just want you to wait and not say anything about a movie or even look at Letterboxd until after you actually finish the movie. Can you please?
Sorry, Dad.
It saves you from a lot of embarrassment.
Help me help you, Koho. Help me help you.
Hey, Boatman, you know what movie?
What do you want, Paul?
What,
Boatman,
Tim?
you know what movie is bomb?
What?
Demolition Man.
Yes, it is. I watched that for the first time. I did not expect to enjoy that movie. Like, that feels like it would not be a Boatman movie, but
It's so fun.
It's so fun and so clever. Like, it's that movie.
They thought that out pretty well.
That movie is smarter than I feel like some people would give it credit for. Yeah, smarter than it could be, really.
Why do you and Tim both log Winter Soldier and we're an hour in?
Because I already know it's perfect. I can log it and give it the 5 out of 5. Maggie is laughing at something that's not. Let me see. What is it?
It's not that funny.
That's a classic thing me and my wife do. She's like, you won't find it funny, so I'm not showing.
It's pretty funny.
I did still only give Demolition Man 3 stars, but I still enjoyed it.
Who gave this movie a 3-star?
No, I gave Demolition Man a 3 star.
Oh. Am I not crazy? But this is totally not Chris Evans as this young Captain America here, right?
Like the face too?
I don't think that's him.
I think that's his face.
It's definitely his face.
Is it really?
Yes.
I agree. It doesn't quite look
It
right.
doesn't look like how he looked in First Avenger, so it's always thrown me off.
He also like never made that face where he like looks over at his older self surprised in the first.
That's true. You're correct.
The way that they handle like modern day Arnim Zola in this movie, I like a lot more than the fucking comic book where he's just a head in a body with a camera where his head would normally be.
Well, that's what I remember, like, when this was coming out and we were getting to this part and they get down in there and I was just, like, with my buddy and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to explain to him what this all is. And then they did, like, a really good job of dealing with it. And I was like, oh, it's still by far the most, like, out there moment in the movie, but, like, they handle it really well.
Yeah, like, it actually, like, kind of makes sense. It would be a lot more jarring if they're like walking down there and all of a sudden orange suit, green face in chest, purple camera on head walks out. And he's like, I'm the fucking scientist right-hand man for the last one. So I'm Toby Jones. Look at my head in a body.
Well, there's that Easter egg when they introduce him in the first Avenger.
Yeah.
When he's like looking through a thing, but his face shows up.
Yeah.
When did I say that, Koho?
When they were getting in the elevator, you go, great elevator talk. And I don't even remember what exact line was said. I just remember going, there's my letterbox review.
Oh, was that Nick?
I said
No, was that Nick? I could have swore it was Tim.
I definitely didn't say that.
Okay, never mind. I will re-credit my review.
Boatman gets us mixed up all the time.
What did I do?
You confuse me with Nick a lot.
It's not that I confuse you. It's just that you both co-host a lot. So I say, sometimes I'll say Tim when I mean Nick, because you both co-host a lot and you both have simple names.
Oh,
That's fair.
simple. Okay.
Well, like one-word names, like Nick, Tim.
One-word names? Most of us have one-word names.
I just want to relax and watch the movie.
I know it even.
I think you meant one syllable.
I did mean one syllable.
You're good, buddy.
I know.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tim.
I also love that they do have the camera on his head.
Yeah.
In terms of the way that they structure the computer, it's really cool. I don't know. I geek out about it.
Recording Fraulein. Now, just imagine all of the lines Arnim Zola is saying, except a picture coming out of Dobby.
It's true.
Just Dobby standing there looking at Captain America.
In 1972, I received a terminal diagnosis.
Looks at Natasha. Hello, Fraulein.
I have never been more alive. And then Bella throws a knife.
Standing in my brain. Operation Paperclip.
This is the moment where you can see that Bucky killed Tony's parents.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very blink and you'll miss it, but if you look closely, it's there.
It's also like somewhat implied.
Oh, it is.
It was always like a running fan theory, like towards the end of Phase 1, beginning of Phase 2. I remember that was like a fan theory that people had, was like, oh yeah, Winter Soldier just killed them.
Which brings up the question again. At some point, Zola had to go to one person and be like,
"Oh yeah, there it was.
Hey man, you wanna start a secret?"
Howard and Maria Stark die in car accident. Yeah.
Right. But you saw his whole.
Yeah. Well, these are all the different things that.
No, I know, but those two. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Well, because that's when Tony says, "Did you know?"
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment where he's like, "Yes,
That's
I knew because of this."
He puts things together.
Yeah.
How does she get cell service?
That's a good question.
Where's that place called?
The camp?
Camp Lehigh.
We just got this in a match, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was in a dark match we played.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
Camp Lehigh.
Leheim?
Lehigh. Lehigh.
We, as in like we. Hi.
No. Like Lee.
Oh, Lee?
Like
Yeah.
Like Lee?
Brandon.
No. Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Lehigh was the rejected team name of Light It Up.
We're never gonna watch it anyway, so that's fun.
Wow. Wow.
Got him, Boat. Wow.
You take that. I'm going to the bathroom. That was fucking funny.
That was great.
Woo. Damn.
Wow. Fucking got him.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since Cody and I technically only watched half of this, is it
I'm
okay to
logging
log
it.
on? Okay, then I'm going to log it too.
Sleep Renata.
You should have not.
Yeah.
Do you want some cookies?
Have some more cookies, Ransom.
So aggressive. He didn't have to shoot her twice.
Double tap. First roll Zombieland. Actually, like
Not
it's
the
like
first
30
roll.
It's like 30. Is it second or is it 30? It's one
I
of the
think
three
second
rules they
roll.
say aloud. I
First
can't remember.
and
I know
second.
first one's cardio.
I think
But I don't think it's like that number. I think it's like number 18 double tap or something like that. I don't think it's number 1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
You're right. No, I know it's not 1, 2, 3. I know one's cardio, and then I think I think it is 1 and 2 because I think second rule is seat belts,
Yeah. And then another
and
one's
then
like
it jumps to double tap.
Rule number 2 is double tap. Rule 3 is beware of bathrooms. Number 4 is seatbelt. 17, don't be a hero.
There you go.
18 is limber up. 22 is when in doubt, know your way out. 31, check the back seat. And 32, enjoy the little things.
Good to know.
I love Zombieland. That's when I'd watch alongs.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we didn't give a fuck.
Honestly, I would do a table read through of Zombieland.
Ooh.
Ooh.
good choice.
That'd be a good choice. Cody has to be Woody Harrelson, right?
Oh yes.
Which of us is Eisenberg?
Boatman.
Yeah, I think that.
Anytime we get to an Eisenberg in a table read, it's automatically defaults to Boatman.
Yeah, I have copyright on Eisenberg and Michael Cera.
I would love to see Boatman read the American Ultra.
You're
It's
Abigail
so
Breslin.
wild.
What?
You're
I'm Abigail Breslin.
Mhm.
That actually makes sense.
I'll take it.
I'd be Bill Murray.
Yes.
That is so good. That is so good. Do you have any regrets?
Garfield, maybe.
That's such a great line. I love Sam Wilson. Just one of my favorites in this entire franchise.
I like to imagine that Papa Doc got very depressed, joined the army, came back, and is now recovering, and changed his name from Clarence to Sam Wilson.
Headcanon accepted.
Yep.
His real name's Clarence. Listen, with both parents. And Clarence parents have a real nice marriage.
I want a post-credit scene of that movie where Anthony Mackie comes home, knocks on his parents' door, crying, and says, "Why did you guys have to have a good marriage?"
I'm confused, but okay.
We're talking about 8 Mile because Anthony Mackie's in both.
Oh.
I love that they brought back Senator Stearns for this.
I just remember seeing this the first time being like, are you this fucking guy?
No, I fucking love that he's like a Hydra agent.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I saw that, I was like, oh, it makes perfect sense now.
100%.
When it happens, it's hilarious. But when I first saw him, I was like, what? And then...
I really like Gary E. Shandling. I'm a big fan of the Larry Sanders Show.
It's a really nice way to keep the...
You would be.
What?
Cody, are you telling me you don't like the Larry Sanders Show?
It's just such an old person pick, and it's you. It's fine. It's fine.
It was a good show. Jeffrey Tambor was very...
It was in its prime. Why don't they make good TV like this anymore?
They still make good TV. BoJack Horseman is one of the best shows of all time.
This scene is fantastic. I'd hate to mess it up.
I love how much this movie feels like a 70s spy thriller.
Here comes one of my favorite little name drop things from 2014.
Oh, the Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah. Well, even the first one.
What does he say? Bruce Banner?
Well, he says Banner, he says Stephen Strange, and he says a kid in I can't remember what he says, but at the time I thought it was like a reference to maybe Spider-Man someday.
I'm not ready for that.
Oh no, it was the school valedictorian in Iowa. I think is supposed to be Amadeus Cho. Who goes up to be the Hulk? Who goes up to be the second?
Who's the undersecretary?
I can't think of anyone in comics who matches that description.
And here comes the best fight ever. We already had this discussion, Cody. This is one of my favorite fights in the MCU. Top 3.
It's not the best fight.
Top 3.
I don't know if it's my favorite fight in the movie.
Civil War is.
Oh,
No.
I would take the you're talking Cap, Bucky, Iron Man fight.
Yes.
I would take that one over this. Yes, but
Exactly.
this is top 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I like the
When
elevator
he's standing when he's standing in the middle of the road, the scene is insane.
Well, just even when the car flips and they all like pop out onto the door or whatever, like this whole scene is so fucking cool.
Well, they say, Boatman, you said it was like a 70s movie. Kirk always says it's 3 days at the Concord or whatever.
Yeah, 3 Days of the Condor. It's very similar to that, but more action heavy. Like
I've never seen it,
of,
so I don't know.
Like 3 Days of the Condor is not a very action heavy movie, but it has that like vibe.
Same spy thing.
Yeah.
Well, just even here when he pops the. He hits the windshield and goes through the bus. Like, it's just so fucking nuts.
I also want to shout out Henry Jackman's score again because his theme for the Winter Soldier is really good.
His Winter Soldier theme is awesome.
Where's the Winter Soldier in your ranking, Tim?
It's my number 4. I have Guardians, Infinity War, and Endgame above it, but. And then my 5 is Iron Man. What? What were you going to say? Were you going to say something sassy? What were you going to say? Say it. Say it to my face.
Something that's in my top 5 is my number.
Oh, Ragnarok? That's my number 6.
It's my 6 also.
Isn't it your number 1?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've reevaluated my list since Endgame came out.
Oh. Do you have Far From Home in your list?
I doubt it.
Yikes.
The last time I really looked at it was, I think, Infinity War.
Ragnarok's my 2.
Ragnarok is great.
Mm-hmm. Winter Soldier's my 3.
You're the stupid Avenger. You're a tiny Avenger. I love that. Oh, god damn it. That movie's so good.
I lied. I'm a terrible person.
You do have Far From Home in there?
This cannot be true. Oh, this is...
Is that the rank? Is that the risk one? Or
yes. I was like, that's not right.
Endgame's not your favorite?
No, because Thor the Dark World is number 5.
No, she's talking about something else. Don't worry. That is not her number 5. Don't you worry. We made a list of MCU by stakes.
Like, if the villain would have won, what was, like, the most catastrophic consequences?
It is one of the best lists on Letterboxd.
It's one of my favorite lists that exists ever.
Well, thank you. We put a lot of time. We almost got divorced over it, so we fought for a long time. Wait, go back to it. It's a little high.
I don't care.
It's a little low.
I don't care.
I cannot wait for Lucas's MC ranking list to come out. Because he just logged Infinity War, so I'm interested to see where he puts.
It's respectable.
Ragnarok's my 7. Endgame's my 5.
I don't know if Far From Home is on this list.
It is. I just saw it.
It's my
No,
1.
this list.
First Avenger is the highest one that jumped. The highest. It's my 6.
I think my highest jump was.
Maggie also has First Avenger pretty high. You had it at like 6 too, didn't you?
Yeah. I had it above this movie.
That's. Oof.
I know, that's a take. It's fine.
No, I mean, it's your list. You do what you want. Unless your name's Koho, you can make the list you want.
Fair enough.
Koho has Infinity War not in the top 10, though, so I can't listen to anything.
How do I see the notes on that? Oh, there it is.
We're going to have to do Infinity War eventually on Watch Along, so I can take that Infinity War poster and put all of our faces on it. And Cody will definitely be Thanos.
Yeah.
He has to be. The genuine fear on Black Widow's face when she gets shot is huge. I think that's a really good moment.
When he just jumps in and that shield to the it's so fucking good.
I love the way that they actually like make the shield part of the action.
Yeah.
Like better than any of the other ones. All the other ones, he just kind of throws it, you know. But like in this, he does really cool things with the shield involving like his movements and like punches with the shield.
Still, that moment right there is why he should have been the next Cap.
Where Bucky's holding the shield there. It's so
Yes.
cool.
I think Sam's a better choice for Cap as a character.
No, he's not. Absolutely not.
Earlier in this movie, we just had a scene that parallels character for character why Sam's the better.
The passing the guard should have been Bucky. I don't care. Sam should have saved Falcon. It would have been the redemption story for Bucky. Perfect chance.
He's already redeemed. He doesn't need it.
No, he got neutered. He didn't get redeemed. He got neutered.
This moment right here when he puts the knife into the van and they cut it down. It's so good.
He is after Civil War. He is one of the most underused characters in the MCU by far.
I agree.
Oh, for sure.
He is just an action. He is just an action piece and does not get a full redemption because he never gets that closure with Tony. He never gets accepted by any of the members of the team, just as a mercenary. That's all he is, and that's what sucks.
That's fair.
Marvel's too hot.
Because the thing is,
He loses his arm and he becomes a little bit.
Who the hell is
Falcon
Bucky?
needs no redeeming. That's why he should be.
What?
I said Falcon needs no redeeming. That's why he should be Cap.
In your world, no one can get better. That's rude.
No one.
He already had his character fleshed out. He had little Red Wing. Who takes Red Wing? No one thought about Red Wing.
I'm not saying no one can get better. I'm saying why should we penalize those that have never done wrong?
No, he's just the perfect sidekick. I don't want to see I want to see Bucky grow as a character.
I think Bucky works better as a sidekick than Falcon becoming Captain America.
And the Wasp is.
I think it's hard to tell because they've never gotten the chance to be the lead of something.
Exactly.
And I just think I see more potential in Falcon as a character to be Captain America than I do as Bucky.
I will say this. I think on paper, Sam is the better choice. But I think personally, when it happened in the movie, I was a little taken aback. Like in Endgame, when it happened, I went, huh. Because like,
Do you think it was a story choice or Sebastian Stan being like?
no, it was a story choice that they chose to have Bucky say, "Hey Sam" or whatever, and they like point over and they walk over there, and Sam's the one to go and have the moment with Steve. Bucky doesn't.
Bucky kind of already gets his moment with Steve though, and he's like, "You're taking all the stupid with you."
Yeah.
That's their moment.
That's not the moment needed.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure
But in
that Bucky and Steve had a conversation before he left because Bucky knows he's not going to see. He does. Bucky knows he's not going to see Cap when he goes back in time. I'm pretty sure they had a conversation where he literally said, "I'm going to come back here." And
You have the director's cut. You were on the. You left that on the edited room floor.
No, but
You can read Bucky's expression.
Bucky's not surprised by any of.
I don't take anything Koho saying. He is Homecoming is too.
You can read Bucky's expression when he says you're taking all the stupid with you, and is like that's their goodbye. And especially when they come back.
I get that.
The goodbye's fine, but that's not what.
I get that off screen. Cap probably told Bucky, "Here's my plan. See ya, dude." I get that, but for the audience, that doesn't happen.
Exactly. We're not in. I'm not. Oh, thank you so much. That doesn't.
For me, it does happen in the fact that Bucky is not surprised by anything. He's
Here's
not
a real.
to see old Cap. They walk over and he goes, "All right, Sam, go ahead," because I see it. You don't.
Here's my.
Did you
Here's
guys
my
think
question.
that he was dead the first time you saw this movie?
No. Here's my real question. Joe Russo is in Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Endgame. Do we think his character in Winter Soldier and Endgame is the same one. It can't be Civil War because in Civil War his character's dead. So I think the one in Civil War is either a relative or something.
So if they're not all linked, then they're not the same.
No, I would say no. Plus, this is in DC, and I think they're in New York.
Well, who knows? It's been, at that point, it's been 9 years. He could have moved.
Nah, I don't think so.
I'm just trying to, in my mind, I was like, what's a way I can weave Joe Russo as the same character through all 3 movies?
This scene is so good.
It's great.
Bucky's had a tough life.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, fallen, brainwashed. Bucky definitely had a hard life, but I think nothing was worse than when he was married to Tanya Harding.
That's be a big oof. He's really good in that movie.
Oh, he's excellent in I, Tanya. Like, he does not get enough credit for being, like, legitimately, like, very different from Sebastian Stan, but also, like, kind of terrifying. I really like I, Tanya.
That movie's really good. God, he's so... Oh! Redford is so good in this movie. This moment here where he just says, like, but I knew him or whatever, it's so, like, ugh. Your heart just breaks for him.
Honestly, I'm so sad Robert Redford retired.
There's an also point that why Falcon shouldn't. Falcon doesn't have any extra strengths besides army strengthness. Cap was enhanced. So is Bucky.
Bucky's not really enhanced. He has a metal arm. He doesn't have a super soldier serum.
He's got the blue juice packs.
Which are all gone after Civil War.
It's about being a symbol.
Oh my gosh. No, that was the old Cap, not the new Cap.
Yes, that's the new
That's
Cap.
the whole point of Captain America is he's a symbol.
Not the Cap they laid out because he is anti-everything now, and he's not the symbol of anything anymore. He doesn't do pageant shows and walk around and kicking Hitler in the face. He's just the person there.
He's anti-evil, and that's what he stands for. Evil in any of its forms, even when it's the form most familiar to you in your own government. He literally covers that in all.
Koho's getting passionate. I can't do anything. It's
pure good.
There you go.
That's what Cap is supposed to be.
I can't believe Nick. It's not surprising you're wrong on another movie take. It's fine.
I'm wearing a Captain America shirt. I'm right.
Wrong.
Actually, right.
You wore a Wally shirt doesn't make it a great movie.
Yes, it does.
All right. Nope.
Oh, man. I almost just asked a really stupid question.
Ask you a really stupid question anyway.
I almost just said, is this the first one Kobe Smulders is in? Because I forgot she was in Avengers, but she's definitely in Avengers first.
I noticed.
We never really find out what happens to Maria Hill post-snap. Is she up on that ship with Fury too?
Isn't she in? Well, okay, so she's
Skrull in Far From Home.
in Far From Home. I was about to say, I'm like,
Yeah. And she's not in the post-credit scene with Fury, so I'm assuming she's on that ship, but we just don't see her. Or she could be seduced.
I would assume.
What if she's out doing?
She left to go start a new life in New York, and met a guy named Ted Mosby.
God damn it!
That's a good one.
Someone's tying everything back to everything else.
Yup.
This scene is fantastic, where they do the flashback.
I am to tying back things to other movies as Mark Kamier is to drinking out of a weird goblet.
That's fair.
It's my gimmick that nobody really likes, but they tolerate. Come on. Not even Garth is watching the show at this point. It's okay for me to say that.
Was Garth gone?
Oh, yeah, Garth left because we weren't talking about him in the comments. Now I feel bad. I just wasn't looking at the comments.
I think Garth. I was mentioning Garth earlier.
I'm sorry, Garth. I feel bad.
I'm sorry, Garth.
Henry Jackman used his own screams in the Winter Soldier theme, apparently.
That's
disturbing. Well, I just think about where my life ended up, and I just put that in the music. You could have been a doctor. But you're composing the score for movies where people punch each other in spandex instead.
Sounds like a good life.
Fair.
Oh, I am so fired.
But if he's just the Watcher, why would he care if he was fired?
Another reason why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
It's almost as if the MCU has like a bajillion continuity issues.
I wouldn't say a bajillion. There's just a couple small ones here and there.
Maybe like half a bajillion.
There are only continuity errors to you.
Did you just say continuity?
I had a
continuity is what we call the porn version of Pirates of the Caribbean with the guy.
I'm never speaking again.
Go ahead. What are you saying?
No, I was gonna make fun of Boatman, so now I can't because I stumbled over myself like a jackass.
No,
Hey,
I wanted. Yeah.
I was gonna say there. You only think that are continuity errors because you don't remember half the shit that happens in these movies.
Fair.
Fair. Boatman, check your messenger.
Troy and Abed stopping Hydra.
I don't see anything. Yeah. Y'all need to watch Community.
No, I don't.
It's good. I really like it. I actually don't know if Cody would like Community or not. He'd either really like it or really hate it.
I don't think he would.
How would you know?
I've seen episodes of the show. My dad used to watch it. I just haven't sat down and watched it myself. What?
As well.
Yeah.
Like a 20-pointer.
The actor?
Yeah. Cormac Nine is also in this movie and is in is he in Justice League?
Yeah. No, BBS. We were just talking
Were you? I wasn't there.
about Kobe Smulders.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You Scott Lang being like, he is really good at that.
This guy.
Yeah.
I also love that this kid comes back in Age of Ultron.
I think it's funny because they were like, "Hey, you did pretty okay in the last one. Champ will give you another shot," and then he's like, "It's locked and stocked and tied. I blew it."
No, I think that's funny. I really like his scene where he's like, "It's locked, it's stocked, it's full of people." It's such a good little moment. His performance in this scene is really good too.
It's just these two that he's in, right? That and Age of Ultron.
Yeah, he doesn't come back after that.
When was he in Age of Ultron?
On the helicarrier with Shield when they show up and
It's locked and stocked and locked and it's full of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I always forget that Age of Ultron is after this.
a movie.
The order gets blurred in my brain.
It's permanently memorized in my brain forever.
I know this movie came out in 2014.
It's true. What other MCU movie came out in 2014?
That's for me. It's a great question. Guardians. I guess it's
Say, think about it.
Post 2014. Okay.
I'll quiz you later. All you have to do is look up there.
We did discuss this as the best year for the MCU, right?
Pretty easily.
2014? I think so. I mean, these two back, like this and Guardians back to back, is really.
Really hard to beat.
I mean, there are other good years. Like, I like 2015. Like, Ultron and Ant-Man are both good movies, but.
I think 2017 is the closest one after 2014 for me personally because of Homecoming and Ragnarok. But
Yeah,
also, I get the problems with Guardians too. I have the same thing with 2019 with Endgame and Far From Home, but then Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Or even 2018, if you, like, I don't love Black Panther, but if you take Black Panther and Infinity War, but then Ant-Man and the Wasp is in there.
Right.
Which I also even like Ant-Man and the Wasp. 2016 is pretty good, though, with Civil War and Doctor Strange.
I like Doctor Strange. I don't love Doctor Strange.
Oh, love it. Love it.
I'd say by far this is the best one, though.
Me too.
Well,
Because just both movies are just boom, big hits.
and they're both my 1-2.
It's my 1-3.
Yeah, my 1 and 4, yeah.
What's your 1?
Guardians.
Yeah.
This is my 3.
Mine too.
My 2 is Ragnarok.
Guardians is my most rewatchable of all the MCUs.
Same.
I really love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, actually, Infinity War might be higher now, but Guardians and Infinity War are both really high. I've seen Infinity War like 25 times.
Well, it helps. The Thanos in that one is way better than the one in Endgame, so.
That's true.
That is fair.
100% accurate.
It's because the focus of the movie shifts between the two.
Yeah, Endgame isn't really about Thanos.
I know, but they forget all his, like, he's not that great. Even when he does show up, he's not that great.
Well, because it's a different Thanos.
So you'd have to deal with a bunch of...
Whatever. That opening scene of Infinity War is still one of that I still get chills when I watch it.
It's so good.
Infinity War?
Infinity War, yeah. With Thanos.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't like it leaves you right into like a bad like an like oh no, we're dark already.
I really
I
love
remember
that.
seeing that movie for the first time, and me and Maggie just losing
were
our
just,
fucking
not living.
minds because we were the only ones in the theater because we watched it early, and we were just like losing our shit the whole time.
I saw it. That was one of the first movies I watched when I started working at my theater, and I got to go to the employee screening of it, and and apparently like no one wanted to go because it was like me, my two managers, and my friend who I like coerced to go watch it with me, and the two managers like left as soon as it started, like the theater because they didn't want to watch it. So it was just me and my friend watching the movie.
That's nuts. Well,
I know.
just didn't invite anyone else. I was just like, peace, I'm watching this at this time, and if the other managers want to come, you can, but they were all like, nah, dog.
We watched it.
Infinity War? No, we didn't. We watched it at like 10 o'clock. Because we saw 7 o'clock showing of Black Panther, and then we saw Infinity War directly after.
The next day I skipped school for the whole time.
I remember leaving Infinity War and I texted Robert and said, please tell me it's gonna be okay.
That's funny.
I walked out of Infinity War and I was like,
And then at the end, when everything rolled, and then the one guy goes, can you believe Kevin Feige's this big of an asshole that we have to wait a year to find out what happens?
He mentioned Fandom. I said, has to be really good.
That's woof.
what?
Maggie goes, could you imagine if the pandemic happened in 2019 instead of 2020 and Endgame was the thing that got pushed?
I would die. I would not have been able to.
That would have. Nick is like crying.
I would not have been able to survive.
Nick's like, this is a reality.
Because wasn't Endgame the one they pushed up a week or two?
Infinity War did that first.
Infinity War did it first, and then they followed suit again with Endgame.
Guardians 2 did that first.
Guardians 2 came out in May.
Yeah, it came out the first weekend of May.
They pushed it up a week, or they pushed it up a month. I remember James Gunn made an announcement at that thing where they released the Phase 3 thing because they had already announced Guardians.
Oh, yes. Okay, they did move it up into May from June.
Yeah.
But that wasn't after any that was before any trailers had actually come out.
Oh.
Whereas like Infinity,
literally it was like all but the last trailer, and then when the tickets like were going on sale for Infinity, because I remember because we found out at the theater early, and they were like, hey, so the movie's supposed to come out May 5th or whatever. It's actually coming out like April 26th. You need to put tickets on sale for that day. Tickets are going on sale when the trailer drops. And then Robert Downey Jr. like premiered the trailer like on his Twitter or something and was like, the movie's worldwide on this day.
he did like a tweet where he was like, "Hey, at Marvel Studios, is it possible to get the movie out an extra week early?" And they're like, "Sure." And he goes, "Sweet, can I invite my friends?" And like, "Sure, how many?" He goes, "The entire world dropped the trailer."
Yeah, because they always usually for their May movies, well, for all their movies, they usually do a week earlier in like the UK.
Yeah.
And so I think they were just trying to avoid spoilers from like UK people seeing it a whole week before people in the US, which is fair. I mean, it was smart. And then doing the same thing with Endgame was just, yeah, it was a stroke of genius. About is it coming out? They did a review.
This is the best Nick Fury has ever been in any of these movies. I think is his performance like this
It's the most he gets really to do.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Except Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Did you read the article of Christopher Nolan?
No.
The reason that it didn't get awards is Christopher Nolan was like,
You see this eye? It was clawed out by a kitten.
he's like,
Yeah, fuck. I hate that. I hate Captain Marvel.
how'd you lose your eye, cat?
Trusted someone.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. I trusted a fucking cat.
What was their name?
Goose.
Goose.
The cat's name was Goose.
Wait, let's try to fucking cat.
We named it after the cat from Top Gun. No, it wasn't a cat. It was a man. It was Catman.
I had a big breakfast.
Yep. Good luck. That's why Bucky should be the next captain.
You're never
Nope,
gonna
his ass.
listen, are you?
Nope.
What if the TV show changes your mind?
Don't give a shit.
Okay.
They neutered one of the best characters in the show, in the movies. Neutered him.
Was Chicago before Endgame?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
April. Yeah, you're right. It was. Yeah.
2 weeks.
We came out because we went 2 weeks after Shazam because we couldn't see Shazam unless we all wanted to rewatch it. And we were
that's
like,
what we watched.
we were like, what comes out this week? And Tim's like, we can all go see Hellboy. And we're like, fuck it. And I fell asleep.
Well,
My
we all
new-
didn't know how bad it was going to be until the day we went, because we went the Thursday night it came out. So it was
True.
like the reviews came out.
Let
that
me tell
day.
you, the trailers didn't scream perfection. I'll tell you that.
I didn't watch any trailers for it. I was like, fuck it, let's go.
The best thing that happened was somebody asked me for $10 gas money after that movie and not the movie.
Hey, Cody, in retrospect, do you think we should have just pulled the Missing Link switcheroo on Tim Smith, where we just made him watch Missing Link instead? It couldn't have been worse than Hellboy.
Missing Link is a good movie.
I know, but like me and Cody, I remember like before the trip, we're talking about what if we watched Missing Link instead? Even if it's bad, we can watch Tim Smith smash his head against.
We bring everybody to see Missing Link, so just Tim Smith has to watch the Missing Link.
Yeah, and make Tim Smith fucking sit there through the Missing Link because
You're not watching Missing Link. You're watching Tim Smith watch Missing Link.
Yeah, basically would be the thing.
I spent more. I wanted to spend more time in the lobby during Hellboy than actually in Hellboy.
I think Cody asked me at least 3 times if I needed a refill.
We were 10 minutes in. I looked over at Kane and said, "Hey, you want a refill?" He goes, "Cody, it's 10 minutes, and I haven't even took a drink." I said, "Well, just checking."
I just remember at one point looking over, because me and Robert sat all the way on the end, and I think you were all the way on the other end. And I just remember seeing you walking down the stairs, and you turned around and you looked at me and Robert, and you just went, and walked down, and I'm like, this motherfucker.
I mean, it was
then-
just us in that theater. So
And then I sat next to Tim Smith, and I said, "Hey, Tim, you want to move down one so we're not like right on top of each other? This is not a sold-out theater." And he goes, "No, I'm good." So then 15 minutes in, I go to the concession stand, just walking around, and I come back, and I sit like all the way at the end of the row, like in the last seat, and fell asleep. It was so bad. It's one of the worst.
And then you got mad because me and Robert stayed to watch the post-credit scene.
oh yeah,
I
we were
walked
all
back in there
out
and
in
I
the
said,
lobby,
"What are
and
you
Cody's
waiting
like,
for?
"What the hell?"
What are you waiting for? There's not going to be a sequel."
There was a post-credit scene, though.
I know this. I was like, "This not going to be a sequel. This movie is shit."
There's a post-credit scene in The Mummy too. Look where that turned out.
That's true. This fight's brutal.
And that's why
That's
Sam
right.
should be Captain America.
And he
It's
just got his
quite
ass
sweet.
kicked by a guy.
No, he didn't. He punched
He
him.
started. His nose hurts right now. He can barely get back up.
Listen to this line. Shut the hell
Man,
up.
shut the hell up.
Oh, great.
Just imagine when Thanos.
That is the scene of hope right
when
there.
Thanos would be like, "I'm inevitable," and then
Man,
Sam,
shut the hell up.
shut
Oh
the-
yeah, I can't wait if he would have faced a guy like Thanos again, and he just reach out and hope that the hammer comes. And guess what? No hammer, 'cause you're freaking nothing. And that shield, he better hold on tight because his forearm's going to be crushed by the weight of anybody that hits him.
He'll be fine.
Thanos will kick him in the chest, and there'll just be a hole there because he's not superhuman at all.
Neither is Bucky. I'd like to point that out again.
Bucky has a serum.
He has a metal arm. The serum ran out.
Not Captain America. Why should he be Captain America?
What?
Bucky just shot Captain America. You know who hasn't shot Captain America? Falcon.
Hey, that entire fight between Cap, Falcon, like Falcon's flying around, he's doing nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Bucky doesn't even know who he is right now.
You know,
That's a
does.
lot.
If I was in Bucky's shoes, I would shoot you right now. I don't know you. Then when I come clear, sure, I'm now Cap America. What's best for America that these people can change?
I agree.
That's the best. That's the best symbol.
I agree. That's why Bucky should be like a
Captain
hero
America.
kid.
You're right, Captain.
But Sam never needed to change.
Sam doesn't do anything.
Sam's great.
Sam is gadgets. He should be the man in the chair. That's about it.
No.
You're gonna fucking piss him off so much.
What?
You're pissing off Nick so much.
No, not really. I wouldn't say pissing off.
I'm just proving him wrong, and he hates it.
No, you're saying wrong, incorrect things.
Nope, that incorrect.
Yes, very incorrect. That's like, I'm going to hire a doctor.
Yeah.
There's this one guy over here that's got a perfect, clean record, never done anything wrong. But there's this other guy who had a time. He had a stint of time where he didn't really know who he was, and he
So you're
killed a bunch
saying
of
someone's
people.
past should affect their decisions in the future? That's really sad of you to say that.
But now he's a much better doctor. So,
Sure.
you know what? This guy can be a doctor because he has improved, and we're giving him the chance to improve. But this guy, he's going to be the doctor because he's been great the whole time.
Nope.
Yes.
You're saying the past, somebody's past, they can't outgrow their past. That's really rude.
They could. They absolutely can. But they should
Did
not
you say that?
people who've been good. the whole-
Twohig, if you screwed up in your past, sucks. Enjoy the life you have.
That is not what I said.
That's
And
the
that's
seal
the
of hope
opposite
right
of
now.
what I believe.
The whole one person watching, just remember that. If you think Twohig's got your side, nope, not if you screwed up in the past.
It's not true at all. That's the opposite of my core values.
Oh, God.
Koho looks like he's having an aneurysm.
What a discussion to have right now during what's about to be the most emotional moment for me in this entire movie.
Oh, man.
We're gonna argue about fucking second chances while the Triskelion explodes.
There you go.
That's a great shot.
What, him bleeding?
No, the one of him laying there while out the window, you see all the things coming down?
I knew it, but it was just
Fair.
Hey, Cap, you're bleeding. Giant shield and still gets shot. Sad.
To be fair, the person who was in there with him, he just incapacitated like a minute ago.
Yeah. Could Sam do that? Nope. No strength.
I mean, yes, he was in the military.
Straight. He runs around the reflecting pool every morning.
That doesn't make him have a serum. Radiation to make him who he is. He's no super soldier.
Well, no one can ever be Black Widow again then.
Facts. She couldn't incapacitate Bucky either.
She tried.
I love this when he jumps into the helicopter and he's
41st floor.
It's a great line.
It's so good.
I can do this all day.
Want to see my impression of Steve and what's about to happen?
You want to know how I got these scars? What?
Ready? You will never be Captain America.
Salad. Until Sam dies on his first mission, and then Bucky's going to have to pick up the shield. This is going to happen.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean,
The Falcon.
they
and the
both
Winter
died.
Soldier.
They both died in their like first real test as Avengers. In Infinity War, they both get snapped.
That's not their
This
fault.
is just that's not their fault. They don't just pick the people. Actually, Kevin Feige, the idiot. Look at that.
You're my mission.
You're my friend. You should make me Captain America.
No. Pick it.
Sam is a bitch. Oh, one of the greatest scenes from MCU right there.
So I'm with you till the end of the line. So good.
It's crazy how much Kevin Smith really looks like Sebastian Stan at times.
That's true.
How much what?
How much Kevin Smith looks like Sebastian Stan at times.
Oh,
Oh, that's fair.
Like when he's holding on right there, it literally looks like him. I have a hard time putting your
Yeah,
phone back on, Boatman.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know Beller was on call.
That's good.
ugh. That on your left moment in that
It's
game
good.
is fucking epic.
I'm not gonna lie. Maria Hill in Human Resources seems like a little bit of a stretch.
What's her cover?
I mean, fair, but also like, if she were actually working for HR, like Human Resources for Stark Industries, I feel like she'd be hard to deal with.
Okay, that's a weird.
No, just because like she's a very aggressive personality. Like,
You have to be if you're in HR.
I guess that's fair. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. That's fair.
There's a line, and you can't waver off that line on any of the
That's
topics.
you know what? I rescind my statement. That's 100% accurate.
You definitely don't want to lose like an HR person. That would be really bad.
That's true.
No, this is your third time with sexual harassment. We're gonna give you a slide again. One more time, we're gonna have to let you go. No, that's a bad idea.
That's fair. I think I was thinking of customer service, not human resources. That's exactly what I was doing.
Would you like some milk today? Yeah, I can see how that would be hard.
Do you think she's working like the phone line? Like someone orders a piece of military equipment from Stark Industries and she.
Hi.
No, I'm thinking like someone called in and said, well, my Jericho missile isn't working. And she's going to be like, have you tried turning it on and off again, sir?
Let me transfer you to technical support. I'll be right back.
That's what I was thinking.
Have you turned on the Jericho missile? Have you clicked boom on the Jericho missile?
Plugging it in and unplugging and plugging it back in.
The missile has a plug-in?
It's, well, on my end, I've done everything I can, so I'll transfer over to our tech team. Be right with you.
I feel like a missile with a plug-in is a poor design choice.
Who didn't bring the extension cord, you idiot?
The Path of the Righteous Man, Ezekiel 25:17, which is not a real Bible verse, but I love it.
With your abilities, meaning he has abilities.
Could you be the man of your abilities?
I'm more of a soldier than a spy.
Yeah, he can fly because he has wings.
Can you fly, Cody? Can Bucky fly? No.
You put him in the Falcon suit, he sure as hell can fly.
Only Sam can.
Yeah, oh, it's just a Sam Wilson trait to fly. It only recognizes him.
Yep.
I gotta go find a new cover. A year later, she's out busting a Hydra Fortress with the Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm counting on it taking a while. It's gonna take you exactly 1 year.
Now, when is Black Widow supposed to be set between?
Civil War and Infinity War.
I'm so excited for that movie.
Same.
Because it brings Florence Pugh into the MCU.
Hell yeah.
Guarantee that will be number one on Lucas's.
This ending is so badass. When do we start? So good.
Well, we'll start when you can actually keep up with me in laps.
Oh my god.
Because clearly he couldn't.
Shall we wait for the post-credit scene?
Oh, I stopped mine, but I've seen them already.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
I love the first one.
I like the first one too with the twins. That's why
I like
Okay,
the twins also.
Fine, I'll wait for the twins.
I just closed
Mine's
it
already
now.
done, so.
I was
Don't
watching
care about.
Days of Future Past, and Maggie goes, "What is Quicksilver's real name?" Or she knew it was Peter. She goes, "What's his last name?" And I said, "Well, what's his name in the MCU?" And she goes, "I don't know."
I said the Russian version of Peter.
And then I said, "What is his sister's name?" Scarlet Witch. What's her real name? I don't remember. Wanda. And she goes, Wanda. And I go, Maximoff. And she goes, Peter Maximoff. Got it. Like, God damn it.
Days of Future Past is
bomb. It's so good. I love Days of Future Past.
First Class is better, but
I take Days of Future Past over First Class.
I take Days way over Days.
Yeah.
I really like First Class because of the Magneto and Professor X stuff, but you're gonna
He
be
gets better in the next one.
and you're gonna be Magneto. That entire scene is really rough. It's really rough.
All the young kids are just like,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. That's mean. Fantastic.
oh, that's great.
That seems great. But then they do it even one better in Days of Future Past. He's like, I'm gonna say to you what you said to us then. Fuck off. It's so good.
Oh, I need to start my X-Men rewatch. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I just rewatched all of them, and I forgot how good some of those movies are. I dropped my ring.
We will not surrender. We're going to surrender.
We will not surrender.
They're the Avengers.
Then the Avengers.
I am going to surrender.
No, it wasn't.
The opening fight to Age of Ultron is so good.
Ultron is a good movie. I will stand by it.
I like Age of Ultron.
I like it a lot. I really, really love it. Actually, like
The people that I actually like Age of Ultron above the first Avengers.
I can't go that far yet, but I'm getting close. They're like right next to each other on the list for me.
It's close.
The first Avenger just suffers because I saw it so many times growing, like when it came out.
Yeah, it has the nostalgia for me, and I have to just admit it. It does not hold up as much on each rewatch at all, but I still have that nostalgia for the first time of that team coming together over the Age of Ultron.
Yeah, agreed.
I just really like Ultron.
I like Ultron too.
The villain, like the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I think they could have done a lot better with him, but overall, I was happy with it.
All right, well, there's one more scene at the end, but we'll skip that. Bucky's in a fucking museum. We get it. Okay. Winter Soldier. Spoilers. Yeah. Great movie. A lot of fun with this one. A lot of good MCU talk. Who knows? Maybe we'll do Koho's least favorite MCU movie of all time, Infinity War.
Not my least. Oh my god, it's my 12. Christ.
That's unbearably low. But we will see you guys with the next one next week. Who knows what it is? Only time will tell. Peace out. Bring in the dancing clownfish.
Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.